Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to today's ODMAP Project Echo. Today, we're going to be talking about the national map filters and tools. Emily, if you'll go over some housekeeping tips.
Good morning, everybody. As Brian just said, we are being recorded. This will be available later on the USET website. And if you haven't done so already, but it looks like everybody has, I'm going to invite you to mute yourselves, and please don't be offended if we mute you during the call. And towards the end of the hour, I'm going to be sharing a link for a very brief survey just to give us some feedback on these calls. And lastly, if everybody could go ahead and share their name and tribal nation or intertribal organization or tribal organization affiliation in the chat, that would be wonderful. We're really trying to see the reach that we are having with these clinics. And that is all I have.
Thank you, Emily. We can go ahead and turn it over to Mark Tuttle. Let me give you access. There you go.
All right. And let me share my screen here. Okay. And let me present on here. All right, can you all see that?
Yes.
It's okay. All right, so today we're going to be talking about the national map filters and tools. So the national map, this is the the image here is the national map it's designed as a tool for decision makers to be able to view and analyze the data nationwide and submitted to ODMAP. So you can see there's a lot of red over in the Oklahoma area. A lot of those, they just report deaths. So that's why you're not seeing the circles. The circles are I'll get to that in the next slide for the actual legend here. So we'll go to that next. No, one more slide over. But this is to gain access to the national map. You have to have the agency administrator assign you. So the agency administrator has the full authority, and then they'll just go into the users right there, and then we have the circled there, national map access. They just click yes on that in order to approve the person. And then here's the actual legend. So if we go back to the first slide, we can kind of look at the boxes are the fatalities and the circles are the non-fatal ones. So you'll have the red is the no naloxone, orange is single dose naloxone, green is multiple dose naloxone, and the kind of brownish pinkish is the unknown. Then for the non-fatal ones, blue is no naloxone, single dose naloxone is green, purple is multiple dose naloxone, and gray is unknown. So let me just go back to that first slide again here. You'll see a lot of the ones in Oklahoma there, those are all red. A lot of them, they just report the fatalities. So they're not reporting the ones that are actually they give naloxone to survive. So that's why the Oklahoma's like that. But all the other ones, it's kind of stacked on top of each other, so you can't really tell, but it's all mixed right there. We'll go into a little bit closer detail for EBCI in a little bit. So after I get done with this presentation, I'll go into the national map and we kind of play around with it a little bit. Okay, go to this. So this is the overdose counts filter. So it will show up on the bottom left-hand corner. And when you first log in, it will display how many have occurred in the past 24 hours. So you have the total suspected overdoses, suspected fatal overdoses, and naloxone administered. So naloxone administered, that's just if somebody gave 4 naloxones to one person, that still only shows up as 1 for that. So that's just how many people were given naloxone. And so this here is the suspected overdose per day chart graph that they got here. So suspected overdoses per day graph displays the total overdoses per each day. First and last day may be partial counts because they may not include the entire day. So again, we can kind of play around with that a little bit later, but you can add different counties. So if you want to see yours compared to, say, County A, County B, County C, County D, to see kind of where you lie. It all depends on if they're actually using ODMAP as well. So then we have the suspected overdoses per month. So this displays the total overdoses for each month. First and last months may be partial. So you just have to remember that because counts may not might not be fully the entire month. So if we went in and looked for like June this month, it won't be the entire month because June hasn't finished out yet. The next type is suspected overdoses by type. So you'll have, again, the non-fatal, then you'll have the fatal on there. So it kind of just graphs those to show you where you're at for that. Then this is by day of the week. So this displays the total overdoses for each day of the week. So this is kind of what got me. It displays it by a UTC, which is the Coordinated Universal Time Zone. So this is not like Eastern Standard or Central Standard. So this is for Eastern Standard, it would actually be 5 hours behind. And then if you're observing daylight savings time, that will change, of course, to 4 hours behind. So it's a little bit different. It's basically like the standard time for the whole world that they use. So a little bit different. So the hours of the day displays the total number of overdoses for each hour of the day. And this also uses the Coordinated Universal Time Zone for that. And if you hover over the hours, it will actually like highlight it and it will make it a little bit easier for you to read for that there. And then we have the county state line chart again. So this just what we saw earlier. So suspected overdoses per day by county. You can add up to 5 counties or states. Then they also have the attribute table here. So the attribute table, which can be displayed by clicking the arrows below the frequency graphs, displays the data combined in each dot on the map. So this just has the data that's behind each of the dots on the map. And so these are the different filters. It'll make a little bit more sense once I go in there and actually show y'all. But the ODMAP provides various filters to assist the data analysis. Data may be filtered by states, counties, date range, within a particular time period, fatality, naloxone administered, zip codes, primary suspected drug, submitting agencies, police district, where available, multi-victim incident, data submitted by hospital, date of the week and hour of the day. And if you want to just zoom into your location real fast, instead of using the like clicking on the plus or minuses or using the scroll on your mouse, you can just click this little button here and it will zoom in right to your location. And it might ask you to allow your location access, so you can click that. It pops up. And so they have different base maps you can use. You can use like Street View, different imagery views, and they got that available to you, or you can just use the one that's already pre-selected for you. It's kind of a black and gray version with some street maps on it. Then you can allows you to draw or write anything on the map. So when you do the drawing or writing, you can also print that and drawing will be attached to that. And filters, tools, bookmarks. So existing bookmarks are available based on locations. A bookmark of the current view can be added by selecting add under bookmark icon. Please note that added bookmarks are stored in the cookies in your browser and not ODMAP, meaning that they will only be available on the computer and browser that they are saved on. So if you clear your cookies, this is all going to get deleted and you'll have to redo it all. Additional data. ODMAP allows you to import data that will act as an additional layer on your ODMAP. So if, say, you want to look at the Johns Hopkins COVID-19 map, you can import that right on there and kind of layer it over top of the data, or any other GIS map. You can kind of just layer it on top of it, and you can see like kind of a compare to what's going on. And heat map. So this is kind of a neat little thing that they recently added. The heat map function allows you to see hotspots in the area. So please note that this doesn't take into consideration the population. So you might have a higher population in one area, so that's causing to be a little hotter in that area. So, and that's it for the slides. Now I'm going to go show you the actual OD map. So let me slide that over. Okay. All right. So this is the OD map. So this is what will pop up as soon as you log in. So this is the suspected overdose is 250, suspected fatal overdose is 15, and naloxone 156. So this is what's entered into the national map in the past 24 hours. So a lot of people, they enter data later. So they're not entering it right away. So a lot of the other data, somebody might enter it like a day or two later. So just keep that in mind. And if we want to look at, say, our data, so for the Eastern Band Cherokee, what we do is we go up here, select states. So you can scroll down to North Carolina, select that. And then what you want to do, if you're a county, then you can select county, but we're not in the county's data. So we go to agency down here and we select Cherokee Tribal EMS. So this will pull up everything that Cherokee Tribal EMS has entered into the OD map. And so we can select different date ranges, or if you leave it blank, it will just pop up everything. But let's just do, say, January 2021. So first through today, want to just look at that data. And this is going to show both fatal and non-fatal, show all naloxone incidents, and both multiple victims seen. And if you don't have any dates selected, it's just going to show everything. And no hour of the day, just show everything. So you can go up here to apply filters. And then these little 3 buttons down here at the right-hand corner that just let you know that it's working on it. Okay, so then now you have to zoom in. Let it load for a little bit. Okay. So this was from the first of the year till now. This is the data that we have in there. So there's been 20 suspected overdoses. Suspected fatal overdoses is 0, and naloxone is 19. So all but 1 was given naloxone. So then the other charts and stuff, you're going to want to go up here. So open charts analysis panel. So you can click on that. So the majority was non-fatal multiple overdose naloxones given. Then we had 5 single dose naloxone and 1 didn't require naloxone. And then we had no fatalities, no others as well. So they knew all those. Then we can go by day of the week. So Saturday we had the most since the first of the year here. you can see that it's spread out, and if you highlight or hover over it, then it will just kind of highlight it. And also you can export this stuff if you want to. You can export like an image of it or a CSV, so you can play around it in Excel. It's really not a lot of data that you're going to export. It's just like, it's just going to say 4 on Sunday, 1 on Monday, 2 on Tuesday, and so forth. Then you can go hour of the day. Then it breaks down the hour day. Again, this is based on the UTC date and time. Have to make sure like the EMS is entering it according to the UTC time zone as well. And so then you can go suspected ODs per day. Again, that's breaks it down. So we'll have a couple of them here. The last one entered here looks like it was on the 19th. Then we have another one. We had 2. So a lot of days we just had 1. A couple days we had 2. Then it goes by per month. So you can see it broken down that way as well. Then here, if you want to, so this is just, it's saying North Carolina on here, but this is our data because we have it filtered. But if you want to add different counties, say we want to add, not quite sure which ones actually are doing ODMAP, I think Mecklenburg. We'll see. See if that works. No, they're not in. It's not working. But if you wanted to like filter by data like that, you can see different places to kind of compare it to how you all do. Okay, and so then this right here, it kind of breaks it down. You can export this as well. This kind of just shows you who entered it and case number and everything like that on here. The best way to actually export it is not through here. You'll actually want to go to search records here. And then you can enter like the date here, say January 1st till today, and then just search. And then this will pop up all the data that's been entered. So this actually gets into the gender and age as well. The gender and age isn't listed on the national map, but if you wanted to export all this data here to Excel, then you can actually get into that a little bit more. So and go back to the national map. Then the heat map. Oh, let me wait for this to load. Okay, we'll go back to North Carolina. And let me just show you all of North Carolina. Let's just do that. So let's try that out. See, only a few counties in North Carolina are actually entering the data here. But if we wanted to go into, say, more of a populated county, so Winston-Salem, then we can turn on the heat map. So you can see different areas in Winston-Salem that are more prevalent to overdoses here. So kind of got this little area there. It's like right downtown. But it's kind of neat that you can see the different areas that the heat map's on. So I like that whole version there. So then you have over here, this is where you get the filter button here. And then this is if you want to draw anything on there. You're not going to edit anything. So even if you like select like a box or something like that to add on there, there's nothing really that does. Like it doesn't select just that data in that box. So it just kind of makes an image of the box. Then you got the base maps here. Oh, no, this is the other base maps. Yeah, this is base maps. So if you wanted to look at, say, the imagery, So you can change that. So a bunch of little different things. I think they have the default one is the dark gray canvas, but you can change it to however you want it on there. And you can also print it. So whatever you're looking at on this screen is going to print. And then this is where you're going to add the additional data. So we could do search online. So let's just do COVID search. So then you got the Johns Hopkins there. Just takes a little while to load. It's loading now. Maybe this one. Yeah, there it goes. So like this, so just added the little dots on there. And if you want to delete that and go back up to this right here, I want to say, yeah. You can delete that right here. Click the little eyeball and that shuts it off. And so if we want to go back to my location, click this little button here and Cherokee. All right. And does anybody have any questions or want to know how to do anything else in here?
There are a couple of questions in the chat that I'm happy to read to you.
All right.
One is from me. Well, two are from me anyway. So, is there a comparison of time of day across time zones? Like, could you see what's happened at lunchtime across, the whole country? Or
Yeah. So this is across North Carolina because I got that filtered. So if you want to go day of the week, so of course the weekends are a little bit more hour of day. So it's kind of more spread out, but mostly the early morning and night times.
oh no, so I was meaning like if we wanted to compare from the East Coast to the West Coast, could you look at what's happened at 2 p.m., across all those places, or is it on the universal? I don't know what you were.
Yeah, so the universal time. So it'll be the same exact time. So where if say it's universal time 5 p.m. is the same universal time as California. So Eastern and California would be the same exact time.
Okay.
So you just would have to know the time zones and just subtract it from there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. And then from Emma, are there restrictions on how an individual user or organization can share data from the national map?
So it's anybody that has access to the national map, you can see this. And then also, I know there's a bunch of different things that they made it so you can share it, because I know there's different counties and stuff. They actually do dashboards and stuff, making it available for everyone to view. So there's some different things. I don't know if Vicky, do you know anything about that specifically?
I'm sorry, I was muted. State that question again.
1 second. Are there restrictions on how an individual user or organization can share data from the national map?
I don't think so, because it's a public map, right?
Yeah, so there's no identifiable information on there really. So it's all de-identified, and you can share it pretty much any way from what I understand. Like other counties, they make this available for their whole community to see, different dashboards and stuff.
Okay, and is it possible to compare time data from year to year, like see what November this year is compared to last year's November?
So if you want to go, you can just change, say, let's just do 2018. I think we started using it in 2019, but we can do 2018 and select agency. And I think it's, yeah, like this one here, suspected per day. So you can view it that way. So it goes all the way back to like when we first started inputting the data, and it'll show you across this. And then you can export this as well to Excel, and you can kind of view it around that way if you wanted to. So you can kind of view like the year to years. Does that answer your question there?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it for questions in the chat. Does anybody else have any questions?
Hearing no other questions, we can go ahead and fill out the survey in the chat box to let us know how we're doing on these echoes. And we can go ahead and conclude for today. Unless you had anything else, Mark. I'm sorry.
No, I was just playing around with this. So yeah, this is just showing the heat map again. So yeah, so that's all that I had for now.
Okay, sounds great. Well, we can go ahead and conclude. Have a great day, everybody.
All right, thank you. Bye.